it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up? What up? What is up? Welcome into Pregaming here on Sports Money. Happy Tuesday, June 17th. We are down to just a couple of games left in the big NHL playoffs and the NBA playoffs. We'll have a ton of Major League Baseball this summer, but we got to enjoy it while we can. We are getting down to it. I'm fired up for it. I hope you guys are as well. And what a day we had yesterday. You know, we recap every day. We talk about what worked, what didn't work, where we have to get better, where we're going to stay away from. Today's going to be tricky. I'm going to tell you that right now. There are a lot of rain delay possibilities out there. Gotcha. Sorry. Busy couple of days. Elderly parents. Some of you know how that goes. Speaking of how it goes, we slapped those bookies yesterday. Absolutely brawling. Straight up punched them right in the throat. It was a throat punching kind of day yesterday, and I love those days. You know, we grind. We'll see 4 and 3s. We'll see 3 and 4s, 5 and 3s, sometimes 3 and 5s, but it's days like yesterday where you really can move the needle. We generated over 7.5 units just here on the show. I say it like that because we fired on the live stream. The live stream was a banger. We cashed a bunch of NBA plays live. Didn't cash that soccer play live. Disappointed with that one. But a ton of NBA plays there live. Double dip that third quarter. Was a Moneyline Pacers. We don't need your points. You keep your, 2.5 or 3.5. We just want the plus 135s. And we got the over in the third quarter. So it was a glorious. And some player props too, right? We didn't get the double-double for Halliburton. Fucker had 9 points for the whole second half. We did cash his live rebounds prop, though. 10 plus, I think it was like plus 105 or plus 110. So terrific live show. You already know. Now, let's talk about what went well and what didn't across the board yesterday. Quickly, we'll get through this. First of all, started the show off, gave you guys a soccer play. Over 2.5. Panama! Cash in 18 minutes. It was a great one. I forget what was the final score, like 6-2 or something like that. I don't know. Cashed in 18 minutes. That's the kind of soccer play you want to cash. And sadly, because it's this Patopia, Baba, I can't track it. So I'm leaving a unit out there. It's okay. We cashed the Phillies. Phillies was an easy win. Sometimes the numbers don't tell you the story. And we talked about that being the situation the other day, right? Phillies have been a trappy price line. Today's a little bit better. I'm staying away from this early game today. There's dissension in the ranks. Nick Castellanos, not happy. Colorado Rockies come back in the 9th inning for the big plus 150 cash. Big money, plus 150 cash out there. Colorado Rockies money line cash for us. First 5 under 4.5. Now, it cashed. It was 0-0. What's important to note about that is some of you guys had asked, well, why not take the Yankees team total over based on your assessment? Didn't trust the bats. And what they do, even with 2 extra innings, ghost runners on second, 0. So that cap was all about the starting pitching, the ineffectiveness of the bats, coming off that big series against the Red Sox. Now, today's a lofty number. Today's a different story. But that first 5 under 4.5 cashed with some ease. We crushed that line movement too, by the way. Minus 114. Closed at 146. Crushed it. 32 cents on that puppy. Baltimore O's busted up. Tampa Bay busted them up. Tampa Bay's running hot. 7-1 final. Never in that one. Literally. Actually, I think they scored first, didn't they? I guess we were in it technically for a couple minutes. Easy over with the, we're on the live stream last night, and I know everyone likes to break balls, but I got to be honest with you. The read and breakdown on that thing was just unbelievably accurate. I got my stones crushed because they were like, I said, that they didn't score 17 points in that fourth quarter. That was going over. And then we had 2 of the 4 games going over, which means it's not just a runaway under series. It's a 50-50 coin flip. Zigzag played out there with the strategy, null and void. Go out there, get the over 224. Closed at 223. We had bad CLV in that one. But we cashed. Didn't matter. 229 was the final score. Double dipped the Red Sox game. Red Sox are smashing. Red Sox smash. Nasty Nate. Under 7 at even money. 2-0 final. Parlayed the Red Sox plus 150 and the under 8. Brought it up to 8 at plus 285. Cashed. And then the last play of the night there that did not cash for us was the LA Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. That one double fucked me because not only did I lose that spot, I put a big, well, not a big, but I tossed some cash down on the Nerfy. I think I tossed like $50 down on the Nerfy. And Shohei Ohtani lit up a run in the first inning. So that's what we live for, right? We cast that wider net. We're not just here to play one spot and leave everything on the table. Cap the card, find the spots, use the edges. We're looking for those edges here. We use that cash flow, the line movement. We're looking for sharp, respected bettors. We're trying to use all the tools at our disposal. Nobody in the business puts the tools, technology, and expertise together better than sports money, you guys. Stand by it. I believe it. I hear people now trying to have the argument still about cash flow. You're 2.5 years late, bro. Where you been? Stop all that nonsense. Then we look at trends. And some of these jokers used to like to say, if they have sprinkles on their Sundays. No, stupid. You're not capping anymore. We're still here doing it. We're taking withdrawals on a regular basis. Why are you arguing? We're trying to find those little edges to push us over the finish line and at least make better betting decisions is what it comes down to. So I think we did a good job with that yesterday. That being said, maybe you heard of this RBI contest. 2 days left, thank goodness. A lot of tracking going on there. But we have Gogo in the lead at 1,000, just over 1,000 points. Didn't put his book in there for his last couple bets. Got to follow the instructions. But fun contest, 2 days left. I'm going to build a tally afterwards of the guys that were played and how many RBIs they got, so you guys can kind of get like a cliff notes, right? Like a short list of RBI players to consider for yourselves as we go through the second half of the baseball season. Really more than the second half, right? Because we have the All-Star break and a couple weeks on top of that. So we're going to get to that. We're going to have that rolling. We'll have the UFC playbook rolling, but don't sleep on the VB MMA Ramon Scott show. That's already out there. Already out there. Aging like a fine bottle of wine, giving you the opportunity to hear 3 early fights. Keep an eye on that line movement. We'll be shooting first strike tomorrow. We'll get golf out there, hopefully tonight for you guys. Get this golf week started this week. This week's golf week started this week. Yeah, we'll do that too. And of course, the UFC playbook. Getting ready. The big Saturday stream starts early. It's like noon. It's like a noon start. Sucks. It sucks because we're out Friday night gallivanting. I'd say we're going to be running amok in town, but if anybody's been to Salamanca, even their casino sucks. They have a hell of a diner in the casino. But I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. It's going to be a lot of fun. See if we can't get her done. Speaking of big games and big opportunities, we got a big one tonight in the NHL, the playoffs, the Stanley Cup Finals. Final, as our guy Ramon Scott has blaring in the background all the time. Florida Panthers are up 3-2 in that series. The OKC Thunder are up 3-2 in their series. interesting spots for those games. From the Major League Baseball standpoint, we're going to cover Minnesota, Cincinnati. We're going to go Baltimore, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, Texas, Cleveland, San Francisco. And I left to play out. We're going to go Toronto and Arizona. We'll cover the NHL finals. Three WNBA games. Can't believe I'm saying that. 3. I think it's 3. So plenty of action tonight. Plenty of ways to go out there and cook these books. But we got to get working. You guys know the deal. There is never enough time at this 6 p.m. window. We got to get it all in. We got to grind it up. We got to get those plays posted. We got to go to the window looking to cash big tickets. I'll tell you what, I've had a nice day today. I cashed 3 tennis plays earlier today. My soccer fade guy came through. I cashed that fade. And that's it. So four plays already in the books on the positive side of things. When you're running hot, best to stay hot so you don't have to get hot. You know what I'm saying? You're picking up what I'm putting down. Speaking of picking up and putting down, why don't you put down that chat section, put up the thumbs up. Let's get this thing rolling, you guys. In comments, in show, thumbs up. You know the deal. That's the most important thing you can do to support us. We have all kinds of variations of ways to show your support. If you want to support me, you want to support Sports Money, get out there and become a silver or gold member. We truly appreciate you guys that have taken the time to do that. It does help us. We got lots of overhead with no partners. We got no businesses sponsoring us here. We are truly startup business. And if you're making money with us, you guys are enjoying the shows, you're looking for more content, think about taking $5 to become a silver member. Maybe give me a dono of that 20 a month. Get that gold membership out there. Those things mean a lot. They help us a lot. We respect you guys being here on the daily. Thumbs up are huge. Comments are even more important. Upgrading your memberships. Sky's the limit. Appreciate you guys taking some time to do that. That is the way to do that. We love to try to give you guys as much free content as we can. And for those that do support us a little bit more, we got a couple extra little goodies for you guys too. So all fun, all good, all fun stuff. We're making money. I love starting off a Monday fired up, man. You know, like last week's Monday, were we down like 2 or 3 units maybe? I mean, we ended up positive. It's just disappointing when you're down that. I think we crushed like Tuesday. We were like 6 units up, and I think Wednesday we had a couple more units. You know, like we're grinders here. I don't think anybody does it as well as we do. It's just a matter of it sucks when you're down Monday. You know, you want to start that new week. You want to bang, bang. And we did that last night. So I'm feeling good about it. We're starting off today with the bang, bang action as well. Let's go. Let's see. I mentioned a couple of things going on out there. We've got that contest brewing. 2 days left. So make sure you get your RBIs in if you haven't done so already. Thinking we might do something special for those of you that entered every day. We might do something extra. Part of the contest rules was you have to enter every day. Now, we did provide zeros if you didn't enter, so you're still in the game. But for those of you that helped us by entering every day, that's what the focus was, getting comments on the YouTube channel. By way of comments, you were putting an entry in there. That got you qualified for this contest. It's going to be expensive to ship, man. Things like 12 or 13 pounds, I think. Jeff weighed it. Yikes. I don't want to see that shipping, though. So let's get to work. You guys know the deal here. The best damn chat in the business assemble here. They've been working on the card all day. They're grinders. We're all grinders here. We're prospectors. We're looking for that gold. And I think we found it here tonight. We'll see what has to happen for us to get there. Make sure you do get that pen and paper out. Put your best bets in the chat. We're going to fire down and we're going to talk about what you guys are on here. We're going to kick it right off with Gorky. On screen with us last night, Gorky's giving us the Florida Panthers on the money line. And to complement Gorky's play, we've got Joe T with some overs. The first period over 1.5 and the full game over 6.5. Why not? Every game this series has gone over. Every first period's gone over. I'm picking a side. I wish you guys luck with your totals. Gerald Jones is in the house. He likes the Arizona-Toronto over 9. says best bet voided due to rain last night. He's 53-44. My guy, Gerald Jones. He's ready to bust through. He's been hovering. I know he's going to couple up, couple down, couple up, couple down. He's going to bust through. You guys watch Gerald Jones. Mark my words. Today, June 17th, 6:20 p.m. Gerald Jones about to pop. Joe Dubs here. Sancho's up in the house. He says, what's up, Mikey? Let's get it, pimp. Oilers money line and the Athletics money line. Let's go. Ken Woods up in here. Sancho says, best UFC streams every Saturday. I can't imagine why you would want to go anywhere else. I mean, we're not just parlaying big fucking favorites, playing some round props. We're giving you guys some plus 850s, plus 900s on the regular. Doesn't matter which one of us you tail. You're still getting paid. Stop Geo Engineers up in the house. Stop Geo. I saw your message, my guy. It's been a fucking miserable 2 days. I'll get to you. I promise. Pete Gracia says big NHL game tonight. Good wins yesterday. Hell yeah, Nasty Nate. Smash the like. Or Mike stops the show to sing a couple Miley Cyrus songs. I might still sing them. I don't know. I'll try to bring you guys something new every day. Shout out to Trisha M. Who has a good pregame better live. Oh, good pregame better live. I appreciate that he plays live and not give one single play. Yeah, what would we do? What would we do? I remember one time I sat on a show and these fucksticks were like, we're just gonna try to give 1 or 2 plays. We just want to give our best plays. I was like, well, no shit. What if I'm on 4 or 5 plays? I gave out 1 play. Then they wanted to talk about more games. I was like, wait, you want more plays or you don't want more? I don't understand. Tell me what you want me to do. You gave out your play. You don't have any more plays? Why are we talking about any more games? Shut the fucking stream down. Let's all go home. Bunch of dummies. Markel's in the house. David Wallace is here. Trisha M. Hey, Markel. Hey, David Wallace. Damon Waring. Shout out to you, Damon Waring. Markel's getting after it. David Wallace says, no sweat on DK today. You guys are awesome, man. Shout out to Sandra. Inside of the station play 211. My guy. Just fucking say PlayStation for me. You know that's what we're looking for. Peter Gracia, multiple plays, broader range of diversification, good betting strategy. I agree. Damon Waring likes the Diamondbacks money line. Sanders done in the RBI contest. Station play likes the Florida Panthers over 2.5. The top 5. Sander wasn't aware you could play the same as that. Well, didn't say anything about no single entries. Some folks decided to try to play that strategy of not copying somebody else's bet. You want to hear my Boston accent? The Sox? Oh man, I got to work on it. It's got to come naturally. Markel says OKC. Barry says I already filled my card with your plays from the Balking Dead. Let's go. Trisha M says, are there ancillary awards? No. It was expensive. But a good idea. We might put one more together based on folks that entered every day. We'll see. Shout out to Axon Jackson's here. He likes the Oilers. Markel says, can someone throw a few homers out? 50% booster on Dinger Tuesday. Gunnar Henderson. There's a few. There's one. Gunnar Henderson is my Instagram play of the day. You guys don't have to check it out. I gave it to you right now. You should check it out. I appreciate you checking it out. Support us over there on IG. The more socials that we have, the more attractive we become to other cappers that will want to come in and post some content, which means that you will get more free plays. What's wrong with that? A diversified portfolio of cappers, a deep bench, and lots of winning plays. Ignatius Pennyfeather the 7th says Sports Money Gold is where it's at, my guy. I appreciate you being a gold member. Stir and Company, Skinner the Shitter. Sandra likes Trisha, Jesus. Tigers team, it's been a tough couple days. Tigers team total over 4.5. They're going under, usually minus 130-ish. It's not that. I'm going to take a shot. Ignatius Pennyfeather, Stowers, Olsen, Suarez, homers. And Jerry Davis says, stop fading the Rays at home. Would you see my card today? No, it's all good. It's all good. Ignatius Pennyfeather the 7th. Gorky says, what? Panthers money line, Arizona plus 1.5, and Detroit money lines. Tech B says we got maybe 2 more games for the third quarter. Is that not the best? And have you still heard anybody talking about it? I mean, I don't listen to a lot of other people, but I haven't seen it on Twitter. By now, you would think that fucking thing is out. The cat is out of the bag. We've been cashing on that for rounds. Let's go. Shout out to you, AOD. Nathan Cerna, my favorite Canadian. Stern Company, Evan Bouchard assist. Reinhardt and Bennett anytime goals. Gorky went 2 for 2 in ladies ball today. Nisius Pennyfeather says Toronto. Is that Nerfy? And Toronto. Oh, Toronto and over 8.5. My bad. Gorky says 3 matches, 2 tickets. Let's go. That sounds miserable. Stop Geo Engineer. Shout out to you, Smoke and Mirrors. Let's go. It's time to get to work. Shout out to Ron Young in the house. Heading out to the Calder Cup final game 3 tonight. Oh, that's cool. I still remind myself of that time when when the NHL was on lockout or strike or whatever they called it in the NHL. And the AHL was playing in the Wachovia Center back when I lived in Philadelphia. Very family oriented is that AHL. Not my drunken buddy. Kept telling the guy to fuck himself. And when he was like, come on, dude, my kid's here. He's like, fuck your kid too. Oh man, it was stupid. All right. I'm not mad at anybody that wants to play the Tigers in the under in that game. We cashed in the Rockies and the Nationals yesterday, so I didn't see any reason to go back after it. I mean, technically, it's a similar trend that's still in play for the Rockies tonight. I don't know. I like runs. I like the team total runs in Colorado. I just didn't get there. And then the Yankees and Angels. With the number put on this, I found this game perplexing. Why are we putting such a lofty number out there? We've seen that the bats are ice cold right now. They're adjusting the lineup for this Giancarlo Stanton experience. Started at 9.5. It's come down. 87% of the bets. So the public's on the under, but some sharper bets are on the over. I'm not sure I understand that one. I'll tell you what I like in that one. Let's see if we can't carve a play out of this thing. I'll tell you what I like in this one. By the way, did absolutely drill it there yesterday with this game. Absolutely fucking split this thing right down the old guts. Don't trust the Yankees bats. Was concerned a little bit about the bullpen for the Angels. Didn't expect the Angels to come through and hold them down. I'm going to add this play. Oof. All right. Let's go to Will Warren. You guys know I'm not a big Will Warren fan, but I do believe Will Warren has kind of figured out, he's gotten some good tape down on himself, and he's been doing some tape study. Last 2 games, he's gone 5.2 and 5.1, so he's going into the 6th. I'm going to look at his K number. I want to look at his K number because this batting system for the Angels is just as bad and pathetic as it is right now for the Yankees. I think Will Warren can go out there and cut him down, and we've seen some line movement on this prop today. So we're going to take the over 6.5 strikeouts for this guy, sitting around plus 110. Let me see what number I can find right now. His last 5 games, 10, 7, 2, 6, and 4. So that 2 was a bad one. That was the play in the Dodgers. He got pulled after the first inning, or started the second inning after 1 out. He fixed it. He fired back. He went 6 innings and 6 innings again. So I think we get some length out of this guy. And there's no question that we're seeing just poor plate discipline. And both these teams just kind of, well, they're just not connecting on the ball right now. So when things go bad, they go really bad. Let's take this K prop. Let me punch this in right now. For Willie Warren, still a young buck, probably shouldn't be where he is, but he's got this favorable matchup with this squad, and I'd get down with it. I'm going to get down with it. Let me see what number I can find. Let me shop this for us here. Let's shop this here. I'm like borderline mentally Well, fried today. 6.5 plus 105, plus 107s, plus 105s, and plus 107s are out there. Bet Rivers has got the plus 107. Hard Rock's got an even money spot out there. DraftKings has a plus 105. FanDuel has a plus 104. Another favorable knock that is not the best number that's out there. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take a shot with some plus money on Willie Warren. That's why we got to talk these things out. We got to talk these out sometimes because I was going to just skip right over this game. And then as I was thinking all day literally about how bad of all the games on the card, and I don't like either of these two teams, but I was thinking of how bad these Yankees and Angels bats are. So it's only right that we get in there and fire on this thing. Let's go. First prop of the day. There's a prop. There's a prop. Fucking, by the way, Halliburton with that double-double. Just chat my ass. Chat my ass. Still can't believe it. Still can't believe it. Fucking 11 rebounds, 9 assists. Joseph Mayer says, what would you do if you were the guy with a 13 to win $270K parlay that currently has a $39,000 cash out offer on the table? He needs OKC and Edmonton to win their series to cash the ticket. If you don't cash out and one of them loses, you're going to regret it forever. So you got to cash out. Plus, if you're betting $13 to win $270K, you could probably use that $39K. I mean, who couldn't use an extra $40K coming through, right? My guess would be if you're putting $13 down like that, that's life-changing money for you. So you're probably in a good spot to cash that out and take that $39K. And then if you want to get cute, parlay the two again together for another $5K. That's what I would do. That's how I think I would handle it. You're fucked either way. You cash out, they end up winning. You're like, shit, I left $240K on the table. You don't cash out, one loses. You're like, shit, I left $40K on the table for $13. I don't know. It'd be hard not to. Okay. Let's move on. You know what? They won't let me do it anymore because I've done it too much, but MMA Jeff's a big fan of putting the same parlay in twice so that you can cash one out and then have a shot to stack the other one high. The Blue Jays and the Diamondbacks, not on the card. It's an impromptu ad as well here. Well, it's a late ad. 59% of the bets on the Blue Jays, 51% of the cash on the Diamondbacks. Let's not forget what one Bo Jackson, our resident Toronto Blue Jays whisperer, said yesterday. Tomorrow is a play on J spot. That means today. Over 8.5 have moved to some 9s, but not really. 91% of the bets and 91% of the cash on the over. It's Bassett, the old Bassett hound, and Fott. 5.5 ERA for Brandon Fott. Hang on. Hang on, I just lost my page. Right in perfect timing to lose it. So as we're looking at this thing here, the big opportunity, and this is where the trendage comes into play for us on this one here. It has to do with a bounce back spot for the Blue Jays. And I agree with our guy. I think this is a terrific spot, mostly because once the Blue Jays get busted up, they fire back, especially when they're at home. 11-1 in the fire back roll. There's a 2-0 Marlins spot. How about that? Stayed away from that game. Felt good about staying away from that game too. Blue Jays lost 3 in a row, but that last game they were at, now they're coming back home after that 6-7 game road trip, right? So we do know that sometimes you want to stay away from those teams. And we have the Diamondbacks going on the road for the first time after that 6-game series, Seattle and San Diego. They've had a day's rest in between their last scheduled starts, but it's that 11-4, 8-0, 3-2, 11-4 sweep job against the Phillies. Got swept. Embarrassingly enough, can't be getting swept against the Phillies. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to get the job done for anybody. But look, Bassett leads the team in ERA. He's their guy. He leads the team in wins too, incidentally. So if you're going to find a bounce back position, it's the guy in Bassett Hound that you want on the bump. And specifically, if you want to talk about some of these numbers with this team here, like I said, the Blue Jays 12-1, coming off a game where they allowed 11 runs, bounce back spot after they get torched. The Diamondbacks 6-12 as a road underdog when the total's between 8.5 and 9, and they're going up against the AL East. So that travel is an issue for Arizona. That's a long trip. And there's international customs to boot on that thing. 3-13-2 to the under, by the way. So that 9 that's coming down a little bit, that's kind of got that reverse movement, probably a little something to it. I could use some more water. I need a water person. I need a water boy here. Water boy. So I'm going to take the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm going to look for them to bounce back after that. I'm going to ride that trend. I think this number makes sense. Low price tag opportunity because they've been playing like shit. I know they just got back home, but it's not immediate turnaround. So they've had that day's rest in between to do all the bullshit they have to do, get readjusted. And I just don't like this trip for Arizona coming all the way. Probably got to be the furthest trip, right? It's got to be the longest trip in Major League Baseball. I mean, that or Miami to Seattle. But I think what's a little bit more difficult with this one is that international component to it as well. So yeah, they get private access to TSA and customs and things like that. But still, it is what it is. Still got that big trip inside of there, and the numbers come down a little bit, so we're going to fade away on that reverse line movement. But I just think that line movement's indicative of recency bias and what's happening with these two teams here. Rogers Center, they can produce some runs at any given time. Vladdy Guerrero's whoa, what was that? So that's why we're going to kick the card off. We're going to roll on 7-10. We got another big battle opportunity for this one here. A spot that I got a double dipper in this Twins and Reds game. And a lot of it has to do with, you guys have heard me talk about my disdain for this Minnesota Twins team. They just are losers. And when they are losers, they pour on the losing. It's impressive to see how much they can just continue to lose. And that's very much the spot they're in right now. 75% of the bets, 74% of the cash are on the Cincinnati Reds, the home Reds. Hitter-friendly ballpark. Important to note, because we got some ice-cold Minnesota Twin bats right now. Totals at 9, 89% of the bets, 80% of the cash, and it's showing 8.5. Speaks to those ice-cold bats. It's Andrew Abbott. It's David Festa. Festa's a fade. We want to fade Festa every opportunity we get. This guy's a piece of shit. Not only is it a piece of shit, it's actually getting worse, if you can imagine. Festa, 7.9 ERA his last 3 starts. Terrible. Horrible. On top of that, the bullpen's even worse. In their last 6 starts, they're 8.18 with a 1.82 whip. So as the game goes down the stretch, keep that in mind, because if somehow the Twins are up early in this game, we're going to want to pull the trigger and do some live bet. In 14.2 innings, Festa's given up home runs. If you're looking for some home run props, Ellie De La Cruz, not a bad guy to take a look at. Andy Abbott. Good old Andy Abbott. When he's priced between the 125s, we've talked about this before. When these guys are forked between a certain number where the books aren't entirely sure, should he be a dog or should he be a favorite? All he does is perform. He's 6-0 between the 125s. Minnesota, on the other hand, when they're on the road, they're 9-18 between the 125s. Minnesota stinks against lefties. We talk about that lefty-righty advantage, and Cincinnati's running hot. 7-2 over their last 9. Double dipper. Took the Reds. Thought it was a reasonable price tag for the Reds. Really, really like the Reds today. Don't want to over juju myself here. Now, I know it's moved outside of that 125s, but I'm still kind of using the initial price mark or the benchmark of the opening line as the indicator. And I want Andrew Abbott to record the win. He's 6-0. He's winning. And he's playing Festa. So an ice cold team that struggles against lefties versus a guy that's just red fucking hot right now, and your pitcher stinks, is it more likely that Festa's going to go out there and dominate these Blue Jays? It is an under, but are you going to get Abbott in a position where he's in trouble and he's got to get pulled out of the game? I don't think so. I'm good with Abbott to take the win. He's got to pitch into the 6th inning, and they got to be leading. Let's just make sure that we all understand what it requires and what it takes for Andrew Abbott to catch that win. But 6-0 spot, man. I know it's moved, so that's not necessarily applicable. I guess it depends on where you find that line itself. But I like the spot. I think it's a good double dipper for a Cincinnati Reds team at home, by the way. At home, by the way. Good spot for us to take a shot. Tarek B likes the Reds double chance. Sanders says, Dan, the move just came in on the Bucks, huh? The Pirates? Well, the game just started. That could be. Gorky says, Phillies were last second, no play. Yeah, once I saw Trey Turner was out of there, issues with the front office, I said, I'm out of there. I'm not going to mess with that. Hey, why didn't anybody tell me? I got some of this stuff. All right. Baltimore, Tampa Bay. We talked about this game yesterday. We talked about the fact that we got punched in the mouth. Baltimore was the one of two losses that we had on the day. Hey, oh no. For a small card on a Monday where I was talking about how sharp that damn action was, I thought we, because the books, when it's like college basketball, right? 5,000 games. They got to put a line on everything. That's why we're playing Scumbag State University. We think we can find the edge because the bookmakers just kind of overlooked that game and there's not a ton of action on it. 300 tickets coming in. We'll fucking fire. But when you got a 6-game or a 7-game Monday card, and that's pretty much all that's on with the NBA, you got to grind. You got to find, you got to dig in some of those spots, and dig we did. All right, look, for this game here, I got to go back to them. I get it. Tampa Bay and their home. It's a Kremer spot. We'll talk about it in a second. We'll look at these cash flow splits right now. We've got ourselves so 79% of the bets, 80% of the cash on the raise. Guess what the line's done? Reverse movement. Minus 136, now minus 113. Pick 'em numbers out there for the Baltimore O's with a 9.5. That's scary. That's a big number. Now, part of the reason that's a big number is because Lytle sucks right now. And Kramer with a 4.99 ERA. I mean, he's not really lighting the world on fire. Let's just level set it, right? But a couple of things that I looked at for this one. Crazy with this 9.5. Sometimes if you you can overthink things. I always hate when people say, don't overthink it, just play this. I'm going to think about it for a little bit. I'm going to run it through my process of determination. But this 9.5 really had me scratching my head all day today. And here's why. Because Kramer and night positions against the AL in a dog roll is a 19-2 under. Then I look at these Tampa bats and you see like Caminero, you see Arandas, you see the Lowe brothers. I mean, they're beating the shit out of the ball. They're not just winning. I mean, they're firing on all cylinders. So it does concern me a little bit. But then I looked at that Kramer spot and suggest that he's going to be in a position to shut him down. And I talked a little bit about Henderson owning Lytle. That's a big factor for me. 2 home runs. The guy's hitting almost a 500 against this meatball, who's throwing meatballs, by the way, out there across the bump. And if you look at I talked a little bit about this earlier. He's coming down now from his high. His high was 3 games ago against Houston. At Houston, he goes 9 innings, pitches, gets 10 hits. He's a 6-inning guy, but he's pitching to contact. 6 hits, 8 hits. I just put these two together and said, if we got Kremer in an under, that means he should be shutting down the Tampa side of things. And we got Lytle, who's pitching to contact, means that we're going to get base runners on, and some of your best guys mow this dude down. I mean, there's tangibles and intangibles. Some of these things are just bottom line fact. And then if you want some trends that kind of correlate with this thing here, I got a couple for you on this Orioles side. They find themselves 8-0, dog in the division with Dean Kremer on the mound. So not only are they going under, they're 8-0. They're winning by over 2.5 runs a game, by the way. And Tampa, 0-12. Divisional game, multi-run win, priced between the 120s. So when the books aren't sure what to do with Tampa, they lose in divisional games if they just had a multi-run win. In other words, the other team bounces back. And Kremer's in a spot as a dog to fire. So I'm taking Baltimore. I got to do it. I got to stand on it. That's the way I want to get paid in that game. And I know, look, if I got to eat the shit sandwich tomorrow, I will. You guys know I'll be back here at 6 p.m. to talk about where it was right or where it was wrong. Stop Juice is going to stay away from that. Hey, that's fine. Raise -1, he says. All right, yeah. I mean, listen, maybe I take you off of a spot that was going to be a loser. Maybe I put you. I know I got a guy that fucking keeps his record. Keep him off the spots. He doesn't count them for me. He just didn't take a loss. Then if he gets me on one, he's like, I got you on that one. Fucking asshole. They're of all sorts out there, all shapes and sizes. Boston College. Jesus, we'll talk about college sports here, huh? Let's get this banner down. Kansas City Royals, Texas Rangers, going to pop off here for some I don't know, mediocre baseball, maybe. You can't argue the fucking Royals are horrible right now, and somehow they only opened up as +100. Now, we know the Rangers bats can shit the bed. A couple things going on for the Rangers, though. When it comes to expected home runs across all ballparks, they got a little baby park out there in Texas. It's not a baby park, but you know what I mean. A lot of home runs that go out in Texas won't go out anywhere else. Fact. 73% of the bets, the public, betting on Texas. 61% of the cash on Texas. It has moved 9 cents. Now -127 for the Texas Rangers. Not a bad Rangers price. 67% of the bets, 66% of the cash on the over 8. No movement. Leiter and Luga. I'm concerned Texas puts the boot to ass on this Kansas City team. The question is just how many times does that boot touch the ass? The Kansas City Royals right now have gotten shut out 2 of their last 4 games. They've scored 6 total runs over their last 4 games. And they've lost a whole bunch. They are in losingville right now. And, by the way, they got swept against the Athletics. Terrible. Terrible spot right now. Partly, I think some of that has to do with the fact that they did play the Yankees. The Yankees taxed them. They finished off that series with a string of losses. The question I have for the Royals are, you got a Texas Rangers team that hasn't had to travel. They just busted up the White Sox, and they beat up Minnesota before that. They were scoring 16 and 17 runs in some of those games. No travel after the White Sox, with a day's rest in between there. You are officially standing on the tracks, and the train is coming through Texas. That's a breaking news alert. Sorry. You're about to find out is what's happening, I think, with Kansas City. Here's the thing, though. When the line's longer than a -170, the under at home for the Rangers reigns through. It's 24-3 this season. Kansas City ain't scoring. This is where I said its question is how many times does that boot touch the Kansas City ass? 6? 6-1? 6-2? I wish the hook was still out there. I'm taking the under. Wouldn't be a show if we didn't have an under. Some 8.5s are available. A little juicy. I'm fine with it. I want the under because I want the win. I don't want the push if it gets a 6-2 final. If somehow Kansas City scrapes 2 across, I think it's worth paying up for it. We got enough plus money spots. We do a nice job, I think, managing the ROI when it comes to these cards, and I think this is fair enough with a 24-3 spot. Even though it's a baby ballpark, the bats can be ineffective. Now, 3 of the last 6 games for Texas, they put up 12, 15, and 17, or 16 and 17 runs. It scares me a little bit. A friend of mine that I respect was telling me he likes the over. I shouldn't say that like that. Respect most of my friends. Most of my friends I respect. But anyhow, he likes Lugo to go over 3 earned runs. He said 3+ is a steal. That's some plus money pricing. That does concern me a little bit. I think Texas can win. I think they can stay under this 8.5, and I think Lugo can give up 3 earned runs. And I think that sounds like a same game parlay. So give that some consideration. The last game I've got in Major League Baseball for you guys. I'm looking at it. We're going to it. Devers getting the start in San Francisco. I talked about his RBI earlier today. Why the fuck not? I mean, I said this before. Some dudes are alphas. He pulled some alpha shit out there. He found out that nobody really cares if he's an alpha in Boston Red Sox. They kind of gave him a little slap around, a slap and tickle, and moved him on out of there. Boston, of course, had a big shutout win last night against the Mariners. Kind of leaned to Boston again tonight. No official play. Kind of leaned to the Brewers under, too, by the way. If you're looking for some extra thought process around some of these games that I had out there. 9.5s with no movement and all that money coming in on the over. It's juiced to the under in the Brewers and Cubs. Therein lies the question with the wind. We can assume it's blowing out. We don't know if it'll be blowing out all game. The Giants line is coming down. 88% of the bets and 93% of the cash are on the Giants. It's moved down almost 20 cents, 18 cents from minus 164 to 152. Did I do that wrong? 12 cents? Didn't sound right as I said it. The 7.5s have come down. There's officially pretty much 7s across the land. 85% of the bets, 83% of the cash are on the over. It's Robbie Ray. It's Slade Ciccone, and I don't buy Slade Ciccone. I got to buy him a little bit today. I was talking to Sharpie about this one. I was like, man. The problem they're going to have here, and Sharpie talked about the wind swirling, the way it swirls in San Francisco. Like, it's almost 20 miles an hour. Slade Ciccone, a young pitcher, is going to have a hard time putting any kind of stuff on his pitches. They're going to be hanging across the plate, I fear. Which puts the Giants in a position to get the W. They did just have that series against the Dodgers. They did play at Coors. So they leave Coors, they play the Dodgers, they lose that series 2-1. Now they're back home with a day's rest in between. Guardians have been hanging out there on the West Coast. They played 3 games at Seattle. They did just get shut out 6-0. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games. It's Cleveland Guardians team. Some of you guys found out early. It's hard to want to invest in batters and counting on the reliability or lack thereof with the Cleveland Guardians. Obviously, there's a lot of positive vibes and juju going on with San Francisco, right? How do you measure it? I don't know. I know Slade Ciccone's got a 4.26 ERA. He can play well, but I think this wind's going to challenge him. I think that these gusts and this little swirl, this swell, he gets hit hard, and that's the problem. Hard contact puts the ball in play, gets those singles turned into doubles. 18.1% barrel rate, 48.6% hard hit rate is 7th overall in Major League Baseball, and his expected 283, expected 13th. The guy's not good. He's just he's been finding a way to pitch outside his numbers right now, and that's where regression city comes in the hand. The Giants destroying righties. 372 is good enough to be 4th in Major League Baseball over the last week. Rob Ray at home, killer. Guy's a straight killer. 2 ERA, 2.92 FIP. The question is, what are we going to see? And we've got this Cleveland team struggling against lefties. If that wasn't bad enough, Rob Ray's 11-0, non-divisional favorite versus teams that allow more than 4 runs a game. The average totals in those games are 4.5. So think about what that says. 11-0, non-division favorite versus teams that allow more than 4 runs, and they're averaging 4.5 runs per game in that 11-game sample. He's locking them down. That's exactly what that says to you. Now, Cleveland, in this dog spot over the last 2 years, off a game that went under, are 9-1 to the under. Cold bats stay quiet. San Francisco in a beatdown position with Robbie Ray on the bump. Should be a bounce back. When they're in a pretty decent-sized favorite role on Tuesday, non-divisional game after allowing 5 or more runs, they bounce back. They're 8-2 in those positions. So in other words, when they're a big favorite, the books know why they're a favorite, and they do bounce back after kind of like the Blue Jays, kind of that defensive embarrassment they find a way to fire back. So the question is, how do you play it? The way I opted to play this, I took that 7 back up to 8, and I got San Francisco. I parlayed it. San Francisco in the under 8 to give me a plus 160 price tag. That's why I said I was okay with taking the hook on that Texas game. Give me a little bit of extra juice in there. Peter says Devers. Yeah, I talked about a Devers RBI. That was plus 135, I think. No, 155. Yeah, Joe, that's coming up. Back to 162, huh? Sancho says the Plus Money Network. We do capture a lot of good plus money spots. I don't want to. I mean, we don't. Sometimes we'll lay it. But I think we do a pretty good job of trying to. I mean, I just think about. Oh, I fucked this slide up. I think about if you're going to the casino to bet, for every $100 you put in, I want you guys to get 105 back or something like that. You know, like I don't want you guys to. I know a lot of us are credit and based on, you know, the FanDuels and DraftKings and things like that too. But like, hey, for every $100 I risk, man, I want to get 100, at least 100. I don't want to get that 90 bullshit. Minus 110s. No, that sucks. We get like $92 for 100. 1,000 gets you 920. I mean, that shit adds up, man. Getting flagged almost 10% on a $1,000 bet. It's no good. All right, let's talk about the NHL playoffs. We're going back to Skinner after Picard got busted up a little bit there. The Nats up 1-0. Question is, what are you going to do with this game? The Sharps like the Edmonton Oilers. The public likes the Florida Panthers. I'm going to put the narrative on for a minute here. I think the NBA playoffs are done. I think the NHL gets its final spotlight opportunity for a Game 7. Right off the gate, I'm going to tell you that. That's my tinfoil hat. They don't want this series to be done. And you can argue that it's not really in their control because the Florida Panthers have been beasting these boys. It's the penalties that are an issue. Florida struggled the first game in Edmonton. Then came back and won the second. Edmonton struggled the first game in Florida, then came back and won the second. They run up to Florida, Florida won. Now they're going back to Edmonton. Couple things. What can you expect out of your role player? You can expect Connor McDavid to do Connor McDavid things. In elimination opportunities, Connor McDavid has scored 2 or more points in every game this year. Fact. Connor McDavid ain't fucking around. 2. I talked about this before. 8 times in Stanley Cup history has a team lost the first 2 games of the playoffs, gone all the way to the Stanley Cup finals, and all 8 times that team has won the Stanley Cup. They can't win the Stanley Cup if they get shut down tonight, 4-2. Oilers. Last but not least, Florida. Well, I shouldn't say last but not least. If the Oilers lose by 2 or more goals, they fire back the next game. They're 3-0 if they lost by 2 or more goals. There's 3 little bullets for Edmonton. Here's one to put the boot to ass on Florida. 2-5. Favored in all 7 of those games for an opportunity to close out a playoff series. 2-5. First chance to close out a playoff series. Favored in all 7 of those games. 5 losses, 2 wins. We don't need Scotty Foster. We're taking the Edmonton Oilers. Going to take them at a nice plus money price tag. Good money price tag on them Edmonton Oilers. And then we come back to Edmonton. How about that? What do you mean you can't parlay? You got to go to, can you go to same game parlay? Peter? That's it. I'm not going to fuck around with any props in this game. I don't like any props enough that I want to go and overcommit myself on goalie props. If Skinner gets pulled because he's getting busted up, 25.5 sounds like a nice number. They should be stopping and blocking pucks. Perry's hit his shots on goal prop every game this series. He's been having a hell of a series, and what is he, 40 plus, and he's been in 8 straight Stanley Cup finals. But he's juiced at minus 160 for over 1.5 shots on goals. A little defeated. I just think plus 150 is a good price tag. I'm not mad at you guys that want to get involved on that over. 1.5 first period. I would probably play the full game more so than the 1.5 in the first period. But look, they're fucking scoring. They're scoring a lot. It's been a fun series. I think we get a little bit more of it. I think the Edmonton Oilers find a way to strap it on and feed it to them Florida Panthers for this game. And that'll be dangerous if they do win this game, because then you'll have a game 7 in Edmonton. Whoo! That screams drama. Screams Johnny drama. And I'm all for it. I like the Oilers here tonight. I think, again, I don't like that I'll go Florida Panthers in game 7 because they touched the cup. 3 WNBA games. I'll move quickly for you guys. We'll get this. I got to go anyways. Taking the Connecticut Sun plus 18. A lot of points. I got it. We talked about this before. Now, Caitlin Clark comes back. She had something to prove that first game back, and she went out there and she was looking like a young Steph Curry. No question. Rumored to be dating Barron Trump. Question. But we know that they play with their food. They had a chance not too long ago after they thumped the Sun to go out there and set a WNBA record. They didn't do it. They laid back. They're 0-10-2, the Fever, when the total's more than 157. And they blew a team out by covering at 10 points or more. So after a blowout, they overinflate the Fever lines. For the Sun, after they play like shit, they underestimate the Sun. The Sun are 9-0 against the spread after a loss as a favorite, less than 22 assists, less than 14 turnovers. They're 8-0 in those positions. Is the wrong team favorite? I don't think so. I think 18 points is lofty enough. It has come back down, though. It was 18.5 a little bit earlier this afternoon when I was having some lunch. Looking at the numbers, I saw it come back to 18. It's telling me what I need to know. The Sharps are coming back in on this thing at 18. I think it's a good reason for it. We got the intersecting zeros to couple and complement that. Game number 2 in the WNBA. Taking the Dallas Wings. Yes, them. As bad as this Dallas Wings team is, Colorado just scored. As bad as this Dallas Wings team is, the Valkyries just came off of a huge outright victory. Huge. They're now 5-5. They won 76-70 against one of the top 3 in the league out there in the Seattle spot. I want to fade a team that's coming off of that, especially because their expansion. Last game, the big conversation was all those Valkyrie gals went over to Europe to start their European tour. And what do you do the first game? The stars all leave. You play them. After that, you don't play them anymore. You fade them. This is a Commissioner's Cup game. The point differential does matter. There's a reason that the Wings are laying 3.5 points, even though they're 1-11 on the season. I don't think they stay shitty forever. And it did. After that big win, I don't want any part of the Valkyries, especially with the thinness of the roster. I mean, yeah, the roster thinness has affected the entirety of the WNBA, but for me, this is a wing spot. We'll take the Dallas Wings in this game. And then I got one more for you. We're going to pop her off. WNBA. This guy just had a big win. Angel Reese just had her big win. She also had a triple-double. I think that was was it her first triple-double in the WNBA? I don't know. They're bad. They're a fundamentally flawed basketball team. We've been cashing, I think we cashed 2 or 3 in a row on their team total under. And I thought about going back to it again tonight. The difference here, though, we do have a fade spot. The Sky are 0-13 against the spread. Home dog totals 169 or less. That's the position that we have ourselves in here tonight. That's the way we're going to cookie crumble this motherfucker. That's the way we're going to put the bow on the show. I'll tell you, there's another one that I kind of liked. If you're interested in a spot to look at as well. The Aces are bad. Plumlee's out. I'm sorry. Aja Wilson's out. Plumlee's out on that other game, the Seattle Storm Sparks game. I would think about the Aces getting fucking stomped. 13 seems a little aggressive. It's like an overreaction to that big loss that they had outright that last game, but the Aces can't cover spreads. This 161.5 is juiced to the under on the total, but I would give a strong consideration to the Lynx team total over. Let me see what you can get that at right now. 87.5. Shop that around. Keep an eye on that live. If you can catch that thing down around like 82.5 or 83.5 live, I'd give that some consideration too. If that thing starts out a little slower than expected because the Aces are hanging on for dear life. 3 WNBA games to put a bow on the show. Good luck to everybody tonight. I hope you guys have a glorious evening. I hope you get that cash. I hope we all get that cash. I'm looking forward to getting that cash. and I got some things to do. So good luck to everybody. Thank you guys for checking out this show tonight. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already, and do if you want to further support us. If you appreciate what we're doing here, you can support me by going out there and becoming a silver or gold member. I appreciate all you guys for being here. Make sure you do smash that thumbs up button, and we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, win or loss. We will talk about these plays today and how their results are. We will see what we can do to put more W's in our pockets again tomorrow at 6 p.m. On behalf of Sports Money,